and welcome back to episode 7 of the JCP Podcast. Today we are joined with Emilia Drag, who's a content producer at Brazen PR. So, Emilia, for the people that don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, so my name is Emilia. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent and I work as a junior content producer for a wonderful company called Brazen PR. They're based in Manchester. I'm currently doing my apprenticeship with the Juice Academy through an apprenticeship provider called Apprentify.
In terms of your career path, what was your thoughts initially on university and getting an apprenticeship? Why did you choose to go the apprenticeship route?
So I actually wrote a blog about this recently, which you can find on the Juice Academy website. And it's called 5 Reasons I Chose an Apprenticeship Over University. And just to give you I'll just give you the headings just for anyone, because no one's going to read it. But you gain experience in the field before you've even finished studying, which was a big thing for me. You're pretty much guaranteed a job after finishing your studies. You make money along the way, which was another big thing because I'm saving for a mortgage. So
Wow.
in this day and age, I don't think at university I could afford that. You'll definitely be looked after and well supported. I feel like I've got a lot of friends at university who have said they don't feel like they've got enough support from universities and they're paying all that money. And I feel like with the Juice Academy and Apprentify, I've had a lot of support. And so, for example, like I was with this company before at the beginning of the apprenticeship and I had to leave. And I was just really worried because I was like, am I going to have to finish the apprenticeship? I've done all this work, it's going to go to waste. But I made a portfolio and I got myself out there again, and they pushed my CV and portfolio and to everyone they know, and they found me a new job within a month, and now I'm with Brazen and I'm very happy. But yeah, that was leading on to my 5th point. This is the most mentally stable and happy I've ever been. So, and I don't think I would have got that at university.
Yeah, that's good. I think we feel that a lot in terms of the benefits of being an apprentice is you get that personalised experience where they do care about you and developing you rather than like a big group of people at uni.
At university, I did actually apply twice. So I went to college, I did media studies, I did photography and English literature, but let's not talk about that one. And then I applied to go to University of Lincoln to do photography, decided I didn't want to go. Then I did a foundation year at a local college in art and design. Can't draw, so that was hard. I was like photography based, so the tutor came up to me one day and was like, I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this task. And he was like, draw with your camera. And I was like, what do you mean? Racking my brains about this. But no, so I applied to university again there. I went through the horrible UCAS process. I even paid for UCAS. And then at the end of it, when I got all my offers, I got some conditionals, some unconditionals. I actually applied. My firm choice was Southampton Solent, where you guys are.
Yeah.
But I ended up just deferring it for a year because I thought, again, I'm not ready for this. And then, so I worked in that year after I finished college. And then I just kind of came to the end of it and at the end of the working year. And I thought, you know what, I'm still not ready. And I don't think I ever will be. I'm a big believer in signs and the universe. And I just thought, like, if I wanted it, I would have gone by now. It's been a few years and I keep putting it off. And so I just thought, there's other options and I'm not going to university. Let's look at other things. And that's when I found apprenticeships.
Sweet. I find that, like, out of a lot of people that I've spoken to that have made that choice to do an apprenticeship over, like, university, I think they do feel that it's very much, like, catered to them, like what Callum said. Yeah. Like, I'm not very academic. Like, I hated school.
Absolutely, same here.
Yeah. So I think that it's nice to, for people that think in a similar way to we do, it's important to, like, learn on the job, and also, like, getting paid alongside it is perfect.
Oh, definitely.
So, can't really
following on from, like, the support thing as well, like, it's hard enough for regular people to get support at university. Like, I have autism as well, and it's just like, I just feel like I would have been completely forgotten about. I'm meant to be testing for ADHD as well. Are you meant to be testing for? I saw on LinkedIn, ASD gang.
Yeah. Sweet. So I guess the next question then, when did you like discover your passion? Because I know that you're passionate about like photography, videography, stuff like that. But like when did it click in your head that this was like, yeah, this is someone I really want to pursue?
I guess there's been like a few little key moments in life. So when I was 12 years old, I was staying at my sister's house, and everyone was asleep, and I was still awake at 2 a.m. And I just picked up her iPad, and I saw iMovie on there, and I just made this god awful fake movie trailer of like pictures of everyone sleeping like with like double chins and stuff, and it was so bad, but like looking back, it was pretty funny. And then I just found that really fun. So that, I guess, the video production side, that was a little key moment that people like to talk about, like, oh, look, here you are now making videos and stuff, and there you were when you were 12. And I was like, don't bring up that video. But then like 2 years later, I picked up my dad's camera, and I was taking photographs of planes at Manchester Airport, and I was just mesmerised, and I loved it. And so since age 14, I haven't really put the camera down, and now it's become like a little thing that I do outside of work. I do like gig photography, I do weddings, I do all sorts. And then it was kind of like, I think I stumbled across a social media and content job, which I did for 8 months. And then when I did that job, I was just like, yeah, this is where I want to be. I don't want to be with this company, but I want to be in this kind of role at some point.
Great. So you've spoken about where you are now. What were like your jobs before that, like part-time jobs? Like, how did you get to the point you are now?
So I've been working since I was 14, 22 next month. So it started off with like a little Saturday job in a cafe. I was waitressing. I'd done like stuff like McDonald's, Frankie and Benny's, all sorts. I'm 22 next month, and I've had 15 jobs at this point. So
Wow.
I just put up, like, it looks really bad on me, but I put up with a lot of crappy employers as well. So the only good one, and it wasn't good, but I worked in the Weatherspoons kitchen, and the only reason that it was good was because I met Keenan, the love of my life, there, and that's that. But it was an awful job. Weatherspoon slander and microwave meals. But yeah, then during the first lockdown, I worked in the co-op when everyone was panic buying. I had milk thrown at me, which exploded all over the floor. Brilliant time. And then I left there when my contract was up. And then that's when I found that social media and content job, which was an awful company, so I left. Then I worked, then I found Juice Academy and Apprentify. And that's when I found the first job I had with the apprenticeship. And then I left there, obviously, and now I'm here at Brazen.
Sweet. So you've gone through like a whole journey of variously shit-tiered jobs to some not so shit-tiered jobs. I like that. I like that.
It's
Sweet.
nice looking back, because you got to trudge through the shit to get to good stuff. Like I said in that blog, you've got to kiss a few job job frogs before you find your prince.
I like that. It's a good analogy.
That's good work out.
So I guess now you're at Brazen PR. Tell us a bit more about what they do and perhaps like your responsibilities as well.
Okay, so they're a public relations firm in Deansgate in Manchester. They do, so obviously PR, they've got a social team, and then they've got Brazen Live, which is the content production team, that's where me and my wonderful manager Matty works. We actually, the whole company won 3 awards last night at the PRCA Awards.
Wow.
I think it was Large Consultancy of the Year, Best Team Culture and Community Award, and Best Diversity and Inclusion Campaign. Can't remember what that was for. I think it was, but they ran it. They won a load of awards yesterday, so they've let everyone go home an hour and a half early today.
That's nice.
So that's good on the Best Team Culture and Community Award.
Yeah,
they are fantastic. There's lots of benefits. That is another reason I chose Brazen, because I had a lot of job offers when I was out of work, and Brazen had like you get 2 hours a month wellbeing time where you can just book off 2 hours a month to just do something good for your mental health. So I think mine's coming up. I'm going to do a bit of yoga or try and read. I can't read, so I'm trying to get into that. You get 2 duvet days a year. So if one day you wake up and feel like absolute shit, you can just call in and say, I'm taking a duvet day. Not feeling it today.
I like that.
It's good. It really is. And they're just very big on mental health. And I love that. Like, that's a big thing for me after being messed around and dismissed a lot before in other jobs. And so it's nice to have that kind of community.
That's great. In terms of what you do day to day, what was your favorite element of the videography and photography?
I do. I probably biased because I do photography outside of work, and I'm decent at it, pretty decent. And it's nice to kind of like bring that photography skill into the workplace. And then when I take photos at work, people are like, "Oh wow, these are great," and I'm like, "No, stop." But no, that's nice. But so we haven't had many shoots the last few months. We've been doing a lot of graphic design stuff, which is good because I always said I don't want to do a job where I'm doing loads of graphic design and stuff like that because, like, oh my god, sometimes it's, you guys know, it's just like you can't get it right, and
Yeah.
like constant amends and stuff like that, and it's just like but it's kind of the last few months working at Brazen has kind of given me a bit of more of a love for it because I didn't like it as much before, but now because I'm doing it so much, I'm kind of just, I don't know if I'm just getting used to it, but I don't hate it as much as I used to now.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, which I hate when people do to me. But I was wondering if you had sort of 3 key things that you've learned from your role so far that you'd like to share with us.
Okay, so I'd say one of the big things is one of the things I actually wanted to get from the role in the first place. So when I was going through Zoom calls with employers, I was like, oh, this is the one thing that I want to get from a job, and if you can't give it to me, I don't want to work with you. That sounds I didn't say it like that, but it wasn't that harsh. But as video editing, so when I was in college, I learned how to use Premiere Pro, but it was just a very basic level. And because I've been working with Matty, my manager now, he's taught me so much. He's like, he's got a Premiere Pro library in his brain. He knows so much, and he's taught me so much. And I just feel like I'm progressing with that a lot further now. There's a lot of stuff that I used to struggle with, but now I feel more confident in, and that's one of the things. Second thing, organization. So like I said about testing for ADHD, I've got like the autistic side of me that is actually like super organized, and like I make all these spreadsheets and I make everything, I do everything. But when it comes to actually putting it into practice, like I feel like the potential ADHD side of my brain is just, it just doesn't work. I don't follow the routines or anything like that. But since I've been working like with Matty, I feel like I've been able to put better systems into place for organizing my content production. So like I have a better filing system now, and everything's just so much cleaner and tidier. And I feel like people talk about content production, but they don't talk about the organization behind it, because without that, it goes to shit essentially. And then the third thing, mental health. I feel like I've learned a lot more about mental health and in the workplace, because before I was big on mental health, but I never really applied it at work because I wasn't thinking about it. I thought, oh, I'm at work, I don't have time to think about this. But because Brazen is so big on mental health, it's given me that, it's let me learn about myself and how I work best and how to look after myself while I'm at work, like taking regular breaks, just stepping away for 5 minutes to do a bit of meditation. Like I don't know if you guys know the Headspace app. I use that a lot. I've got a 780-day streak on there at the minute.
Wow.
I use the sleep meditations. I can't sleep without it. Yeah, don't use Headspace. It's like crack for your mental health. But no, do use Headspace. It's really good for you. But yeah, just learned a lot about myself and my mind. And
yeah. Oh, well, those are 3 really good things. Normally when people put me on the spot, I can't think of anything. So yeah, no, those are really good takeaways from that. And then I kind of just wanted to like maybe delve a little bit deeper into apprenticeships and stuff, because I know obviously you got the apprenticeship because you didn't want to go to uni, which I think we all relate. But I was just wondering if you had anything else, like why an apprenticeship and why not sort of like a junior role, and things like that. Just yeah.
Well, I guess like I don't know. I'd never really looked into the junior roles. Like, or like I guess I'm a bit confused on it because like I'm doing an apprenticeship, but my role at work is junior content producer. So it's a bit of a mix of both, but obviously it's more towards the apprenticeship side of things. I don't know. I feel like the junior roles, the employers were always quite biased towards people who had degrees. So they were never really interested in not apprentices, but people who were passionate about it anyway. So like I was going up against loads of other people who had the same experience as me, which like wasn't a lot, but we were all trying to get into the field, but they also had a degree. So that gave them the edge towards me. And I was just like, you know what, I want this apprenticeship. I want to get that degree. But I don't want to go through 3 years of mental health misery and lack of support and financial worries. Every uni student I know is broke. And I'm lucky to be studying almost at the end of my qualification, a year in. And I'm so close to having a deposit for a mortgage on a house. And it's just like super grateful for where I'm at.
That is impressive. Like really, really impressive. Because I want to get my own, I'm saving up for like a deposit somewhere in the future as well. So to see an apprentice going and doing it, my motivation. But and
combination of savings from me and my partner bought. I was really bad at it before. If you want to save up, just come up north. You'll save
I've heard.
Yeah.
Where I live, it's an absolute shithole, but it's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. And then I was wondering if you had any advice for people looking to get into the creative industry, if they're not trying to go down the uni route or anything like that. Just any advice that you might have for them.
Portfolio. Okay, so whatever it is that you enjoy or that you want to get into, make a portfolio surrounding it. Like after I had to leave that first role in the job, it was I just spent 3 flat days unemployed making a portfolio of all my work. I just stuck everything on there that I could possibly think I've ever done or that I was proud of, and that being sent around on LinkedIn, that got me, I think it was about 30 Zoom calls with 30 different employers. So if you've got a portfolio and something for anyone to look at, and just you can put everything on there. You can show them your work, and then you can talk about your work and why you're proud of it and what you want to do. And just portfolios are like your friend.
I love that. We say the power of LinkedIn, but maybe it's the power of the portfolio.
both together.
Yeah.
In terms of your inspirations for getting into this industry, who was your main person you looked at and were inspired by?
Oh gosh, I don't really know. Because I've been like on and off with like things like reading and kind of like looking at others' work for the last few years because I've been so busy. And I don't know. I don't think there was anyone I'm going to be so boring here. I don't think there was anyone I particularly like looked up to. I guess when I was in college, I saw all these like uni graduates that were older than me getting these cool marketing jobs, and I was just like, that's fun. Like, and a lot of them were working from home. A lot of them were just saying how much they love their jobs. There was a lot of like bloggers online saying, I work in marketing and I've got good mental health. And I think it was like the people who were preaching about mental health. And then I was like, but what job do you have? And they were like, I'm a marketer. And I was like, interesting. Okay, cool. But yeah, that kind of like inspired me to like look into things. And I was like, that's when I found content production, because it was a bit of marketing, which I was interested in. And then also the photography, video, graphic design elements of it as well.
That's cool. Okay, to wrap up, because as much as we love talking to you, you probably don't want to be here all day. We thought that we'd ask you your 3 top pieces of advice to apprentices or people in junior roles from what you've learned so far.
Okay. I'd say the first one would be like, so people in the role, already in it.
It could be people in the role, or maybe people that are looking for it, looking for a role. So any advice you have.
Okay. Yeah. So lead on from the portfolio advice. To be fair, like you can't make a portfolio if you don't have the work to put on the portfolio. So I did like about a year where I worked for free. It sucks working for free, but when you first get into it, it's so fun because you're learning new things. You're learning about yourself, and you're working towards having all that work to put on your portfolio. So just work your ass off for a year. I'm not saying work your ass off like within reason. Your mind is important, but just do as much as you possibly can to get the work onto that portfolio. And sometimes you will have to do a bit of free stuff, but there are other people as well out there who see value in you, and when you do free work for them and you do it good, they end up just saying like, here, have this, like they'll give you like a free product or a free service, or they'll pay you. And I had a lot of that towards the end once I started getting more experience. But yeah, so the second piece of advice would lead on from that, and is when you have a good portfolio of work and people are coming to you saying, oh, I'd like you to do this for me, don't let them get it for free anymore, because you're going to get so burnt out. I've learned this in the last year. About a year ago, I was still doing free work for people. And it just, I got so burnt out because I had so much on. I was working full time, like Monday to Friday. And then the weekends and the evenings of the week, I was working on these free projects for people and to like build my portfolio, even though I already had it there. And it's just like, you've got to have boundaries. You've got to, don't let people, mess you around. If your work is valued enough, like that people are coming to you for it, start charging for it. And it's a bit hard trying to figure out how much, but you'll get there in the end. Sorry, I didn't even clock her. Yeah, and then the third piece of advice: just don't let anyone take the piss. Research companies before you get with them. This isn't like, I feel like anyone that might know me might listen to this piece of advice and think, oh, you're having a dig at that company you just left. But no, this is one from way before that. There's just like loads of companies who have messed me about, and I feel like I could have seen that beforehand if I had done more research into the company. So like when you go for a job interview and people are like, oh, do you research about the company? Do you research about the company? Because like you'll find stuff. So you can find reviews online, you can check out the website, check out their social media comments, and just see what's going on there, because it sucks like going through that process of interviewing and trying your very best and just being anxious about getting the job, and then getting the job, loving it, being there for a month, and then just finding out this sucks. Like, this is awful. I wish I'd never come here. I wish I'd never wasted my time. I could have been somewhere else. Just really look into things.
Good advice.
Yeah, really good advice, especially that first bit, I'd say. Because even though, I mean, sometimes we sort of turn our nose down at working for free because, I mean, the question is like sort of, is it super ethical? I don't know. But like, I think it will show you whether you really kind of want it, because there isn't much of an incentive for you, aside from building your portfolio. So that's really, really good advice. And then also creating boundaries and making sure that people know your boundaries. So no, that's really, really good advice for people that are looking to get into it or are in it. So thank you so much for that. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We've really enjoyed having you here. So yeah, thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be us, episode 8. 7, sorry. Episode 7, we're wrapping that up. So yeah, thank you so much, Emilia, and you can catch us in the next one. And where can we find you, Emilia?
Oh, what's sorry?
Where can we find you? LinkedIn? Do you have
LinkedIn, Instagram. I've got like a million Instagram accounts because I'm an idiot.
We'll link some. We'll put some down there.
Yeah, we'll put them all down there.
Yeah, it's only just LinkedIn and Instagram.
Okay, sweet. Cool. Yeah, give her a follow, and we will see you all when we next see you. Okay, bye.